just finishing up week 1.
Woo!
The first week.
We did
It's crazy, huh? Like week 1 is
Crazy.
done, under your belt, like, so.
We survived.
Yep.
Right. We survived. There are many
You
times.
survived, and you ate a lot of food. You drank a lot of water. You didn't spend all day in the gym, right? Like, for how many of you guys were you surprised by how full you were?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm struggling to finish this.
Crazy.
Right.
It's always wild. We hear that all the time. People are like, I was so surprised at how hungry I wasn't. So anyway, but so week 1's done. Let's go ahead and hop on the scales and see how you guys did your first week.
Svetlana down to 226.4.
194.8.
All right. So in 6th place, down 2 pounds, 0.81%, our pregnant mama, Miss Anya. Anya, how many weeks are you? I was trying to remember today.
I'm 22 weeks today. Every Monday is my new week.
So you're over the halfway mark.
Yeah,
That's
over
amazing.
halfway.
So we're
Yep.
definitely going to be seeing a baby before we're done.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Definitely.
Which is awesome. Awesome. Good job. In 5th place, down 4.7 pounds, 1.79%, Miss Carmen. In 4th place, down 4.2 pounds, 1.82%, Svetlana.
Yay.
And Svetlana, I was totally bragging on you to season 10. I was bragging on all of you guys, but I said, listen, I said to travel your first week, to be in a situation where stuff's being dropped off all the time, to be in a situation that can be emotionally draining and stressful and have all those triggers to want to emotionally eat. I was so incredibly proud of you. Awesome job. In 3rd place, down 5.6 pounds, 1.9%, Angela.
Oh, hey.
In 2nd place, also down 5.6 pounds, 3.37%, Rosie.
Oh.
Which means in 1st place, down 12.8 pounds.
I don't know how that happened.
6.16%, Katie.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay.
I weighed myself so many times, Carmen. I cannot believe this is right.
Yep.
And so this week, as we come into week 2, we're going to be talking about something that I truly believe that it is impossible to have long-term success without this. Because in the beginning of any journey, we are excited, we're full of hope, we're full of possibilities. Like, what if this is my last first day? Like, what if I have one of those before and afters, like so-and-so? Like, what if this is my time? And 6 months from now, someone's going to be watching an interview with me on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to be the reason they applied, right? Like, we have all these little hopes inside of us that's like, oh, right? But at some point, so here's the question. I'm betting this is not the first time you've ever had hope before. This is probably not the first time you've ever gotten excited about the possibility. So the excitement always at some point is going to fade. it's always fleeting. It never stays there. And what most people wait on is they wait for the motivation bug to come bite them. Once I get motivated, then I'll lose the weight. When I get motivated, then I'll work out. When I get motivated, then I'll do X, Y, Z. And you're never always going to be motivated. You are never always going to be motivated. You are never always going to be excited. And this one thing that we're going to talk about tonight, I believe that if you cultivate this thing, that this is the one thing that will push you past those hard times, those moments where you want to give up. And what we're going to be talking about tonight is your vision for where you're going, your vision for who you're becoming, your vision for the body you're building, your vision for what clothes will be in your closet, your vision for what your sex life with your new body will look like, your vision for what kind of mother and what kind of things you will do, your vision for, what your girls' trips will look like, your vision for whatever it is that you do, what is your vision for that inside of your new body? And there's a passage inside the Bible that says a man without a vision will perish. And kind of, we've all heard that, but perish means die. Like, right? That's what perish means. And obviously it's not talking necessarily about figuratively, but what about emotionally? What about mentally? What about spiritually? How many of you have met people that are still have the gift of their living body, but emotionally checked out, mentally checked out? They're just literally checking off the boxes until the day they're no longer here. They're not living life. They're not making memories. They're just not. And so when someone doesn't have a vision for where they're going, when you don't know who you are and where you're going, ultimately you will wind up going where, and you're kind of like, what are those white things you see in the field sometimes and the wind blows them around? Except it's not the wind, it's your environment. It's your environment. It's the people, because most people make their decisions based on other people's opinions. That is the unfortunate facts of reality in our world. Most people make their decisions based on other people's opinions. And so your vision, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, knowing where you're going, is the cornerstone to building the life that you want, the health that you want. It is your vision. And so when we look at your vision, so often I've worked with people and they're like, well, Carmen, I've just been really praying for a vision. I was just praying that the Lord would just download one into me and I would just have this vision. And what they're waiting on is this giant fireball vision. They know who they are, where they're going, what they're put here for, what their mission is, but that's not how vision works. Vision starts off tiny. And the only way a vision builds and gets bigger is by you watering it, by you sowing into it, by you building it. And in the very beginning of recommitting to lose weight, obviously up until that moment in time, I was a weight loss failure. I had tried all the diets, all the things, all the shakes, all the paid things, all the free things. I had tried so many of them, ultimately getting to a point where pretty much almost given up and given in on all the things. But every time I would try something, I would go through this cycle, right? I would I'd lose a little bit of weight or I'd quit. And then I would be like, that's it. And I would just eat all the crap. But then eventually I would get sick of me again. I would get sick of my size. I would get sick of busting out of everything. And then I would start looking to try something else, right? So it was like this constant cycle. And when I first started out, I had a lot of visions in my life in a lot of different areas. I had a vision for my marriage. I had a vision for my business. When I first started, we had just popped out our second kid, had built several multi-million-dollar companies, invested in real estate. Like if you looked at my personal life, someone would look at somebody who appeared on the outside Like I had all my stuff together, right? But on the inside, like I was uncomfortable. I was unconfident. I was faking it till I made it. I was putting on a smile, even though I didn't, not saying I was miserable, but I certainly wasn't confident at all. And if someone would have asked me about my vision for my health, I didn't have one. I was to the point where I was afraid to get my hopes up. I was afraid to dream again. I was afraid to get excited. I was afraid to think about the possibility because what if I got excited and it didn't work out?
Right.
What if I actually started to believe that I could do it and I failed again? What if I actually believed that I could be one of those people on the internet with the before and after that got accused of photoshopping it, which is the ultimate compliment, by the way. If you ever have a before and after photo that gets accused of photoshopping, that is the ultimate compliment. I mean, someone saw your after photo and they did not believe there's no way on God's green earth that's real. Our opinion of ourselves, our opinion of who we're becoming, our opinion of where we're going, it matters. Because if you don't know who you are and where you're going, you'll be who they say you should be, and you'll go where they think you should go. So you've got to know, who do you want to become? What is your vision for your future? What is your vision for your life? What is your vision for your health? If failure was not an option, what would your health look like? If failure was not an option, what would you dress like? What would your wardrobe look like? If failure was not an option and you weren't worried about your weight and your roles and you're married, what would your sex life look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would a day out with your kids look like? Mine would have been riding roller coasters. As someone who had gotten kicked off roller coasters because the bar wouldn't close, right? As someone who couldn't ride horses because I exceeded the weight limit, couldn't go kayaking because I exceeded the weight limit, couldn't go hiking because like I was not confident that I would not get tired and, have to sit down and quit. I had a whole bunch of things I wanted to do, but none that I had told anybody. I so badly wanted to be able to ride a horse in a bathing suit on the beach. Not just ride the horse, like in a bathing suit. I hadn't told a soul that. Like I wanted, and some things were just simple. One of my visions was I wanted to be able to just go shopping in any store that I wanted and know that they had my size. I didn't have to find my way to the plus section that they put in the back of the second floor on the store. I didn't want to have to go to places like Torrid or Lane Bryant and pay twice as much because they can mark it up. Right? Like I didn't want to have to do those things. I didn't want to have to, I just wanted to, if I have to go buy a dress, I wanted to be out of the regular section, not the plus size section. Something simple. One of my things, I wanted to be able to walk into Victoria's Secret and buy underwear. Because the only thing I could buy from Victoria's Secret was a sweatshirt. Won't buy no chonies from there. And I certainly wasn't getting bras from there. Those would not hold, I had to get the Lane Bryant bras with the thicker sides and all the things. So, just to be able to walk into Victoria's Secret and buy a piece of lace for $70, I was going to be thrilled. Take my money, please. To hold up a piece of underwear and have them go, is this underwear? Yes, take my $70. It was one of my goals. And so when you build a vision and you know who you want to become, now your actions start lining up with that. Now you know who you want to be. You know who you need to think like, you know the actions you need to do. And now you start to act and think completely differently. And here's the thing. The biggest difference between those succeed and those who fail is the way they think. It's the way they think. And I can tell you the biggest difference in the old me and the new me is the way I think. Most people are not going to get there because they never quite figure out who they want to be in the first place. And again, if you don't know who you are becoming or who you want to become, you cannot get there. You cannot get there. It's kind of like telling the GPS. You know, we all have these amazing things called phones. And one of the most amazing things about a phone is that we can put in, it has a GPS on it. We can put in an address, we can enter coordinates. And once we enter the coordinates on the phone, it can take us there turn by turn, right? So, but I want you to tell me, what if I'm trying to get to a restaurant in Atlanta and I just put in my phone Atlanta? It's close enough. I don't tell it where in Atlanta. I don't give it an address. I don't give it crossroads. I just say, take me from here, where I live, to Atlanta. I might wind up somewhere in Atlanta, but am I going to wind up at the restaurant I was going to? But as soon as I enter the exact coordinates, as soon as I put in 123 Manning Street, Atlanta, Georgia, it's going to tell me how long it's going to take to get there. It's going to tell me the exact route. It's going to tell me the coordinates to take, where to turn, how long to stay on that road, and then where to turn again. It's going to tell me. And if I do make a wrong turn, what does it do? It reroutes me, right? So your GPS has the power to take you anywhere in the world you want to go, as long as you enter the right coordinates. If you enter the wrong coordinates, it's going to take you to the wrong place. So this is why it's so important. And your brain works very similar to a GPS. Once you tell your brain where you want to go, and you enter the coordinates, I want to go to, and here's the coordinates. See, the coordinates, the more specific we are, the closer it's going to take us, right? If I enter the address to the restaurant, where is it going to tell me? Where's it going to take me? Like right to the restaurant. But if I give it the crossroads, it might get me close, but not right there. If I give it the business down the road, it might get me close, but not there. If I give it Atlanta, it's going to get me closer than where I'm at. But so the more specific you can be with your coordinates of where you want to go, the closer you're going to wind up getting there. Nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. My whole vision was to be a healthy, active mom, hiking and running and working out and, you know, I trained jujitsu with them in the basement. Well, they train, I just help. But you know what I'm saying? Like we do that stuff together, but that was part of my vision for who I was becoming. So what is your vision? And there's no right or wrong answer. Don't be afraid of getting it right. But listen, if something comes to your head, say it. If that little voice is still there inside of you, saying, yeah, but don't tell them that one, because you know what if, think about all those other times. If that is present, that means you have more fear than faith.
Yeah.
And friends, fear and faith cannot coexist. You can only serve one master, and it has to be fear or it has to be faith. And you've got to pick which one you're going to move forward with. Are you going to walk in fear of what if it doesn't happen? Or are you going to walk in faith that this is my last first day and this is the time, and all those pictures that Carmen has, I'm going to have my version of them too.
Alrighty. My vision for my health 1 year from today. I have a few. I know first and foremost, I want to not have to take blood pressure medicine anymore. I've been running away from it and it's caught up to me. And I have no choice but to take it during pregnancy in order to keep me and baby healthy. So that for sure. I want to have more energy to play with my boys. They have so much energy, and today it broke my heart because we did a lot today, and I heard my 8-year-old talking to my 7-year-old, and he said, yeah, I want to go to the park. I want to go to the park today, but I know mommy's already tired. And I see all the pregnant girlies, you, for example, just have the energy because you put in the work to be able to have the energy. And I want to have that energy so my boys don't have to be like, oh, yeah, no, I know mom is already tired. I'm not even going to ask her if she wants to go because I already know that answer. That really hurt today. And I just want to feel good and look good in my clothes. I want to feel good in my body. I want to be able to, I've always wanted Lord have mercy, I'm saying this out loud, a belly ring. It's just something I've always wanted, of course, for, just me, myself, and I. And I think that's something I want to write down as a goal to achieve um next year. But yeah, I think those are mainly my goals and the vision that I have for myself. That's where I see myself next year with all of those checked off and living in that. Yeah.
So, my vision for my health 1 year from today is that I could go play pickleball and jump around and not be embarrassed about my belly flopping around and my boobs flopping around. That I could enjoy being outside and not just sweating to death. Um, like I could sweat and not feel just so uncomfortable in my skin. Because I've always lived in the South and it's been hot for a long time now. And I just want to like experience the summer without being completely miserable. Um, and I would love to just wear any sort of bathing suit and be comfortable on the beach or at the pool and just not feel like I have this giant belly that gets in the room before I do. And honestly, 1 year from now, I would like to have the confidence to date again. Um, Something I never thought I would consider, but I wasn't done loving yet. And so yeah, I have a vision that I will date again and be married again and to be confident enough to expect someone that I can expect for them to be healthy and working on themselves. So yeah.
Okay, so if I could not fail, I would in a year want to be back to size 6. That's what I was before I was pregnant. That's a lot of weight though to lose in a year. And not just a size 6, but in better shape, like muscle tone and like my legs. If there's a way to not have any cellulite, that would be amazing. Probably a lot of muscle. One thing I don't do much at all is take photos at all of myself. A lot of my daughter and Leo, but so family photos with all of us that are not just, here up. I would do that. Not having to wear like a cover up at the beach be great. Have energy, all the energy to play with Gia and take her to do all the things that are super um physical that a lot of times I can't, you know, do much before Leo just takes over. So that would be my year so far.
Awesome.
My vision for my health a year from now is to not be morbidly obese. And I'm more specifically, I remember I never like my brain never went there, but when I calculated my BMI and it said that, it was like, I don't know. That number, I know it's not always like this great thing. Some people are really against this BMI, but there's some merit to it, right? So I want to fix that. Okay. And another big one is just being being that fit mom, that classic stereotype that you guys see everywhere. Totally me. I always loved working out. I've always loved being fit and strong. I remember after my third baby, I was so weak. It was just terrible. I just thinking back gives me like the shudders, ugh. It was just awful. And so I just vowed to myself, I'd never be like that weak again. But I know the kids are growing, and being at home and sitting and refusing to go out because, even the summer, I'm sorry, anyone chafing like that, I hate that. It's such a big thing, and I do judge some of those fat people that their shorts aren't, all correct, and it's all riding up their butt, and it looks so awkward from the side. And, I'm like, oh, it's just bad, and does that make you feel good? And it makes you want to stay inside. But the kids, that's not good for them to be healthy and want to go outside. And like, who was it? Anya was saying that they want to go outside. They keep asking to go outside. And I want to fit, put on those fit clothes, the athletic wear. That's totally up my alley, the athletic wear, and, be proud of myself. So that's my big things for my health that I can really just pinpoint now that will happen in a year.
Yes. So the vision for my health 1 year from today is I'll be close to my goal weight of a minute, at least 150 pounds. I will no longer need to use my CPAP when I sleep. I'll be able to walk in heels without having sore feet or without having them bloat or my ankles bloat to 3 times their size, sorry. I'll have more energy to travel, but like go to Europe and visit stuff instead of going down south and spending half the day on the beach like a beach whale. And I'll be able to go on roller coasters without having that fear of that fear of the bar not closing, like Carmen was saying, and being like, oh, I'm sorry, man, the bar doesn't close, so you'll need to get off the ride. I will no longer be out of breath when I get up the stairs at work. And there's like only 2 flights. And I'll hopefully be dating again, not just like scrolling on Tinder and going like, oh, maybe, but actually going out there. I will no longer be or need to be on the wait list for gastric bypass. And so that's my list for now for the health. And be healthy and strong to do everything and get out of the house and be more active with my friends and their kids, like my nephews and nieces and all that too.
Something comes across that tempts you to not drink your water, to not do your workout, to eat something that's not on plan. It's asking yourself, does this get me closer to where the person I'm becoming or further away? And if it doesn't get you closer, it's not only a no, but it's HE double hockey sticks. No, ain't doing it. Not today, not never. See ya, cheese, you future stinky poo-poo. Bye, right? And I'm telling you, you start doing this, you are going to be at your goal before you know it. Before you freaking know it. Looking back going, I can't believe this is me. Looking at your own shadow in the parking lot, not recognizing it. Seeing yourself in a security camera at a grocery store, thinking some other chick's walking up behind you. And it's you. Awesome job on week 1. Let's crush week 2.